It was a quiet Saturday afternoon when I stumbled upon it. Sunlight streamed through the garage window as I rummaged through my wife's car, trying to find the charger she always insisted was buried somewhere in the glove box. I sifted through a pile of random items, a few crumpled receipts from Starbucks, some loose papers, an empty gum wrapper, nothing out of the ordinary. But then, hidden under the passenger seat, I saw it. A used condom. For a moment, I just stared, my brain refusing to piece together what I was seeing. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it wasn't what it seemed. Maybe it wasn't even hers. My hands shook as I picked it up with a tissue, holding it away from me like it might explode. Julie and I had been married for 6 years. She had always been my person, the one who could turn a rough day around with just a smile or a simple touch. But in that instant, everything froze. My stomach twisted and my heart pounded like a drum in my chest. The room felt like it was collapsing around me. I went back inside, my vision clouded by a mix of rage and disbelief. Julie was upstairs, probably lying in bed scrolling Instagram or planning another girl's night. Instead of confronting her right away, I made my way to the kitchen and poured a glass of water, trying to collect my thoughts. I needed to process, put the pieces together. The long work nights. The text she always swiped away quickly when I walked into the room. The new lingerie she bought but never wore for me. Suddenly, everything made sense. I sat down at the table, staring at the damning evidence on the counter, the condom still wrapped in the tissue. My hands trembled, and I felt a sting behind my eyes. Not tears of sorrow, tears brought on by the brutal punch of betrayal. By the time Julie finally came downstairs, I had already made up my mind. "Hey, babe," she said cheerfully, grabbing a water bottle from the fridge. "What's up?" I looked at her, really looked, like I hadn't in a long time. Hair in a messy bun, wearing that old sweatshirt from college. She looked so ordinary. So normal. It made me sick. "We need to talk," I said, voice tight, fists clenched beneath the table. She turned toward me, brows lifting in mild curiosity. "Okay, what's going on?" I pointed toward the counter. Her gaze followed, landing on the tissue-wrapped condom. For the briefest second, her face gave it away, a flash of panic, a twitch in her mouth. But she quickly masked it with confusion. "What's that?" she asked, her voice slightly higher than usual. "You tell me," I said flatly. "I found it in your car." She froze, gripping the water bottle a little tighter. I don't know. Maybe it's not." "Don't," I cut her off, my voice sharp. "Don't lie to me, Julie. I'm not an idiot. I'm done being played." Her face drained of color. "It's not what you think," she whispered. I let out a cold, humorless laugh. "Really? Then tell me what it is. Because from where I'm standing, it's exactly what it looks like." Julie tried to speak, reaching for me, but I stepped away. I couldn't bear her touch. "Who is he?" I asked. "How long has this been happening?" Tears filled her eyes, but I didn't feel a shred of pity. No sadness. Just this icy, burning anger. "It was a mistake," she finally said, voice barely audible. "A mistake?" I snapped. "You don't just accidentally sleep with someone, Julie. This wasn't a slip-up. You made a choice. And now I'm making mine." I turned and walked away, her voice trailing behind me. I didn't stop. My thoughts were spinning, but I knew one thing for sure, I wasn't about to let her walk away without consequences. Not after everything. For the next 3 hours, I packed up her things, every item of clothing, every shoe, every piece of jewelry I'd ever gifted her. I shoved it all into trash bags, not caring about the mess. Then I went a step further. I printed out photos, our wedding, our vacations, even the ultrasound from the baby we lost 2 years ago. I scribbled words across them in red marker: liar. Cheater. You ruined us. I taped them all over the house, on mirrors, walls, the fridge, anywhere her eyes might land. But I wasn't done. I logged into her Facebook and Instagram. She had carelessly saved the passwords on our shared computer and posted a single blunt message. Hey everyone. Just wanted you to know I've been cheating on my husband for months. Hope you're all having a great day. Petty? Probably. But I didn't care. She had made a fool of me. It was her turn. Then I called her parents. They had always treated me like family. I told them everything. Her mother cried. Her father cursed. They promised they'd speak with her. I didn't want sympathy, I just wanted them to know the truth. When Julie finally returned, the house was a war zone of our past. She stepped inside, her eyes wide, staring at the trash bags, the photos, the chaos I'd created. What the hell is this? She yelled. I stood in the living room, arms crossed, heart racing, but completely resolute. This, I said coldly, is what happens when you shatter someone's life. This is your mess now. She tried to explain, pleaded, cried, but I'd stopped listening. I handed her the divorce papers I'd printed earlier. Sign these, I said. And leave. She looked at me with a mix of rage and heartbreak. You're being cruel, she whispered. No, I said, my voice unwavering. Cruel is betraying the person who loved you more than anything. Cruel is burning down a marriage for a thrill. This is justice. Her hand trembled as she signed, and she left with nothing but the bags I'd packed. As the door closed behind her, I felt the weight start to lift. The house was in ruins. My heart was shattered. But for the first time in a long while, I felt free. Over the following weeks, I focused on putting my life back together. I leaned on close friends and family, took up boxing to release my anger, and began therapy to heal. It wasn't easy, but bit by bit, I regained my strength. I began to feel like myself again. One evening, sitting on the porch watching the sun dip below the horizon, my phone buzzed with a message from Julie. I'm sorry. I made a huge mistake. I hope one day you can forgive me. I stared at the screen for a moment, then deleted the message without replying. I didn't need her apologies. I didn't need her guilt. I had a new life to build, and she wasn't part of it. As the sky darkened, I felt a peace I hadn't felt in years. Julie was behind me. My future was mine to shape. And this time, I was going to make it into something beautiful, something no one could ever take from me again.